You're inside K-Day's community show. Your issues, your topics, your community. Now, here are your hosts, Classic One and Trey.
Yeah, and me, Trey. 93.5 K-Day, it's Sunday.
Yeah.
With my man Classic One. What's up with you, brother?
Hey, man, just here.
Here at work.
Yeah,
It's a happy Sunday, man. We got a special guest that we felt that was imperative that we bring on the show today.
Absolutely.
Just for the fact that it's a lot of things going out in the community as far as in the housing market. And me and Classic are everybody at the job in the process of doing some kind of move. And this is one of the moves we're actually trying to, get involved in.
Definitely.
And we brought a man in by the name of Andrew from Platinum Mortgage Company. Let me get it right. Platinum Mortgage Company.
Platinum Mortgage Company.
How you doing? Good morning.
Good, I'm good. My name is Andrew Ojesi-Cover.
Okay.
And I'm the president of Platinum Mortgage Company, and it's great to be here. Thank you very much.
No, it's definitely a pleasure for us because we definitely want to bring you in because it's a lot of people right now that have a little money to play with and they out at the mall buying red bottoms, buying cars and just wasting money. And we're trying to get the community, as we always discussed, involved in making
smart decisions.
Yeah, smart decisions. We're trying to make smart decisions. So we just started to bring somebody in here, not financial advice, man, but somebody to discuss the housing market with us that we know and we've dealt with on a couple occasions, so we feel comfortable with.
Yeah, and if you're out there and if you're looking to buy a house, or maybe your family is, or maybe you're thinking about it, but it's overwhelming because it can be an intimidating process for sure. We're going to talk to Andrew right now, kind of walk us through it and see if maybe he can answer some of your questions about, taking those next steps.
How about you get the listeners like a background about you and what you do?
Well, I am a mortgage broker. I'm licensed by the Department of Real Estate and the National Mortgage Licensing System to be a mortgage broker in the state of California. So we actually have been in the business for over 22 years. The company has.
Platinum Mortgage
Company has been licensed for over 22 years. Okay. So there's a lot of history behind the company. Besides, I have been in the mortgage company, in the mortgage business for over 12 years. Prior to becoming the president of the company, I started all the way down as a mailroom clerk, and I worked my way up.
Wow, that's awesome. That's
a beautiful thing.
Yeah, so I know every ins and outs. I've seen it all.
And that's
happen
the best,
in the back
you
end.
didn't just come in and get hired as a president.
You weren't born in the money. You was born in the money?
No.
He had to work his way up.
I worked my way up. But the cool thing about that is I've seen different markets go up and down. Now is the best time to buy or refinance because rates are so low. Okay. The rates are very low. Besides, it's just cheaper to buy than to rent.
Definitely.
It is. It's a fact. If you calculate it all the way, the rates are low. Housing prices are lower. Get in.
There's no reason not to.
There's no reason not to.
Let's talk about say a person is off the streets and they're listening right now, and they're like, well, man, you talk about rent, it being more expensive than buying a house. What do I need to do? I'm Joe Blow to get started, get the ball rolling. How do I know if I qualify? How do I know if have enough money in the bank saved? How do I know what my credit score is? Explain what the first step it takes.
Walk them through.
That's a really good question. That's actually the problem with a lot of people. Where do I start? Who do I talk to? Who do I trust? That's the most important thing because a lot of people has been beat down.
Sure.
So how do you start? Jump on the internet and do some research. What do I need? Just go on Google. How do I do a mortgage loan? Besides that, you can actually go onto my website, platinummortgagecompany.com.
Excellent.
Platinummortgagecompany.com.
Give them the number just in case as well.
My toll-free number is 800-386-3657. 800-386-3657. You go on there and we have steps. Simple thing, you have to get your credit check. What's on your credit? Who do you owe? Who are you paying? You have to find out first of all. Once you know what's on your credit, then you can determine how much you can borrow. It's important to have a 2-year tax returns. So in this case, you have a 2009 and 2010 and 2011. Okay. Those 3 years are what you need for us to be able to qualify your income and then cross-check your credit with your income and see how much you qualify for if you can actually get a loan at that point. That's the first step of it all. Interest rates, fees, cost, all of those are secondary.
Okay. Let me ask you this real quick. I don't mean to interrupt, but does it matter how long a person has been in their particular job or maybe even field? Does that affect it as well?
Yes, it does affect it. Generally, most lenders will require you to be on a job for 2 years minimum.
2 years.
The exception is if you just got out of college and you've been on a job for 2 months, you are eligible for a loan.
Oh, so a lot of people don't know that.
A lot of people don't know that.
So students out there, if you want to get the jump, I mean, sometimes, you know, an E40 said it in a song, make sure you buy a house before you buy a car.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
You know, and it's important to do that and get your priorities straight now, because think about it, if you're in your 20s, your 30s, it's important to set this up for the future, because like Andrew said, now is the time to buy. In 5-10 years, when you think you might be more ready just because of your age, rates are going to go up.
Age has nothing to do with it. If you got the money, you're going like we always talk about, you're going to always need a place to live anyway.
Anyways.
So don't be scared and take the initiative. And I actually want to share a story that when I met Andrew through a realtor, and she said, if you need to clean up your credit, because Classic got better credit than me. Classic got A-star credit. I ain't got A-star credit. So I had to clean up my credit. But Mr. Andrew, you know, I called him. He gave me a website, and to be honest, I gave him some money, but he was the first one. It wasn't, I think it was like $20 or 30 bucks or something.
It was $35 to pull the credit and to do a desktop underwriting check.
Yeah. Okay. But he sent me my credit score, my credit report and score, and then you was the first one to ever do that. So I actually had a chance to go through it and see all the stuff that I messed up on and call them and correct that. And by me paying off some of that, my score jumped up tremendously.
What was the timeline in that, bro?
Like a month and a half.
That was less than 6 weeks.
Yeah, it was a month and a half from what he told me to do.
Before? Credit jump that much?
Well, yeah, that's what we do best.
Okay.
We don't charge a dime to do that. So if anybody's out there paying hundreds of dollars for your credit to be fixed, you're paying too much money.
It's about taking care of it yourself.
Taking care of it yourself.
Yeah.
You know,
I swear I'm a witness. I seen it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's Sunday, bro. It's Sunday.
Yeah. Just be diligent. The report on your credit didn't get there by mistake. It's either you did it or somebody made a little boo-boo. But if you did it, own up to it and tell them and say, hey, I want to take care of it. Get it off my way so I can get my credit score up. And it's simple. Instead of you paying somebody $1,000, pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I made a mistake. What can we do to fix it?
And a lot of times there's room for settlement at a much lower
price. They'll settle you.
Because sometimes it's the interest, and they're not. There's a certain net that they need to get. There's a certain bottom dollar that they need to get, and sometimes, I mean, do you have an example, maybe, Trey, of something?
Yeah, I owe somebody $1,600, and they said send me $388 today, and we'd take it off. I sent $388.
Was that big screen you bought, or what?
Nah. I was at the Montclair Mall get some jewelry. Thought I got away with something. To be honest with you, since it's Sunday.
Hey man, but that's great. Let me go back to this real quick for somebody out there. You said students. That's an exception if you've been on the job because it's a student maybe qualification. Is that what the loophole is?
Yes, the loophole is if you've been in any university, any trade school, you must show your transcript that you've been in school for at least 6 months.
Okay. And listeners out there, if you guys are contemplating school and your decisions and you don't know where to go and you're at a job that you're just not feeling, I mean, school, we always talk about this, stay in school, but it's important because it opens up other avenues. As you can see, there's a societal guideline. There's certain things that society requires, that some people, decide to take and some people decide not to. But if you go to school for 6 months, it allows you to bypass that 2 years on a job to buy a house at the time that these rates are just the way you got to get in right now. That's a great thing. Let me ask you this too. If you haven't been on the job for 2 years, but maybe you've been in the field, say you're a FedEx driver and you were working at FedEx for 1.5 years and then you worked at UPS for like 8 months and then you worked at the post office for 3 months. You're in the same field. Does that count?
That counts. You're in the same line of work. That's what they call it. Same line of work. Okay. So as long as you've done that for 2 years, then that counts.
Okay.
Now another thing that you consider, if I was a salaried employee for somebody before, and all of a sudden I decide to start my own business, I must have that business for 2 years before I can qualify for a loan.
Okay.
So people, you guys who are thinking of jumping to start your own business,
entrepreneur,
you will not be able to get a loan until you've been in business for 2 full years.
And you still need the W-2s, or
you don't need W-2s at that time because you're in business for yourself.
Okay.
You know, so for you to be
what form of any form of
1099.
1099 is okay.
Because so if you're in business for yourself, we need to see 2 years of being in business to be able to qualify you for a loan. But if you're employed and you're getting W-2s from somebody else, you know, it's either you've been there 2 years or you just got out of school and you've been in a job for 6 months at least.
Okay.
You know?
Right now it's 93.5 KDAY Classic 1 and Trey. If you're just tuning in, we got Andrew Jescobar.
Or Jesse Kober.
Jesse Kober. I was close. I was close. Andrew Jesse Kober, the president of PMC.
Platinum Mortgage Company.
Yep,
I'm sorry.
No problem. PlatinumMortgageCompany.com. I'm just trying to get the website out there because Andrew is a great person. You talk about somebody, you know, who you can trust, and Trey has been dealing with him for a minute, so it's important. If you guys just have questions, then contact your office. Is that right, Andrew?
Yes, contact me 800-386-3657.
And it's not there's nothing wrong with just calling up. Maybe you have no idea if you're able to even have the money. Call and see, and he'll help you put you on a plan to get you to get a loan.
Exactly, and it's important. What you just said is really important because we have people who we started out last summer. Here's what you need to do: get your ducks in a row, and then come January, February, you got a home of your own.
You're ready to go.
I mean, that's the best thing to do. Say, hey, get in a trade school for 6-8 months, and then you're going to be eligible to use that income that you just got for a house.
And that's important because, you know, time goes, man.
Time goes by fast. Time goes by fast.
You don't even realize like how quick it'll go and you're ready.
Yes.
And if you don't have all your ducks in a row, like you said, it's not going to go. Let's shift gears a little bit so we know what we need to qualify.
We got to get a plan.
You got to get a plan. You got to call my man Andrew, 800-386-3657, PlatinumMortgageCompany.com. And then the next step is picking out or figuring out what you qualify for, the amount, but then the type of loan, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Everybody nowadays wants a 30-year fixed loan because you want the peace of mind. You don't want to worry about rates shifting up and down.
No variables.
No variables. I mean, some people do go for variables. Those are people who know what they're doing.
Okay.
But if you just say, hey, I want a roof over my head, I don't want to worry, my payment's $2,000 a month or $1,000 a month, give me a 30-year fixed loan. You know, and that's what I think I recommend for everybody initially.
Okay.
You know, getting the rate down. The interest rates are so low right now. You know, really, you could get as low as 3.5% on a 30-year fixed.
Okay.
You know, and that's never heard of before.
Right.
We need to do it now.
Okay.
Now's the time. Now let's talk about the different loans as far as conventional or FHAs or FHA 203Ks. What's the difference between these and what can people expect?
For people who have good credit, you have your credit score 620 and above.
That's classic.
That's classic. Okay, yeah.
Right. I don't know, man. I don't know about that.
If you have good credit, then you want to go for a conventional loan.
Okay.
You know, if you're lagging, you have some collections.
That's me.
Yeah, you haven't paid. You know, that AT&T bill. You know, you just I don't care. FHA will look into you and they will give you a loan, but instead of getting 3.5 interest rate, you might get 4.25 interest rate.
Let me ask you this. Say, I had a higher than a 620 credit score and I didn't necessarily want to go conventional because maybe a down payment would be a bigger, or since I'm a first-time home buyer, and there's a lot of you out there who are going to be buying your first home, are there incentive programs better to go FHA even if you have a higher credit score?
Yes.
Okay.
If FHA is Federal Housing Administration, they insure the loan. They don't make loans. They just insure the bank and say, hey, we're going to give you insurance on that loan. What FHA is doing to promote housing is they will actually say, come in with 0.5% down. If you have a FICO score of 580 or above. 0.5% down. So for a $200,000 house, your down payment is $1,000.
And that's unheard of.
That's unheard of.
And that's something that, you know, I haven't talked to you about it yet because I had talked to a different lender, but I'm going to switch gears on
I'm trying to tell you.
My man, Andrew.
You see, I keep pointing to Classic.
Right.
Classic in the ball game.
Yeah.
He definitely had mentioned something like that to me personally, and I want to emphasize this to the listeners because otherwise, talk about the down payment you would have to put down on maybe a standard
loan,
not first time or conventional first time.
I mean, if it's a conventional loan and you have high credit, you could come as low as 5% down.
Okay.
I mean, there are programs.
So the difference on 200,000 and 5%.
Yeah, 5%. You know, that's the difference of $1,000 and $10,000.
That's $10,000.
So I mean, your tax credit that you're getting back, you know, you're thinking, I got $5,000 in my hand. What am I gonna? I mean, should I go buy a flat screen for $1,000, or should I put $1,000 down for a house?
Exactly. And maybe along the way,
it's all about being productive in life and making the right decisions.
Exactly, and your rent that you're currently paying at $1,600 a month, it's gonna go down to $1,100 a month on a mortgage payment.
You guys, listen, it's not something that's too good to be true. It's something that, you know, and Trey and I have been talking about this for a while. We had to get Andrew.
This ain't something we're trying to convince you guys. You guys know we on the community show every week.
Sure.
We don't tell you guys no stories. You can call up here and verify we work here. But I'm telling you, sometimes when we come across something good, we just like to share it with the community as we're supposed to with each other.
Yeah,
it's PlatinumMortgageCompany.com, 800-386-3657. This ain't something we just making up and he gonna hook the listeners up. This is what he does. This is what this man does. And there's other people out there that do the same thing. We just don't know them and we haven't verified them.
Yeah, and we want to make sure that boosting the community, when we talk about this, man, it's like, are you paying your landlord rent or are you the landlord?
Yeah.
And are you buying a house that you're like, man, this is something that I can deal with for a couple years and maybe rent out myself one day and be a landlord? Because that's important.
We never thought about buying no house or nothing like that. Oh, he got the business.
Right.
Ooh, it's a nice business card. He gave us the business card.
Well, you had to see the business card to see my DRE number. You have to announce that to your audience because anytime you're trying to buy a house or you're trying to do a loan, if your loan officer does not have an MLO number, or if your real estate agent does not have a DRE license that you can verify, what are you doing?
You don't want to do that.
You don't want to do that. You know, the information that we're going to provide you are things that you can get yourself.
Yeah.
But you just don't know where to find them.
Okay.
Well, let me make this clear right now for everybody. Grab a pen if you want to check out my man Andrew, Platinum Mortgage Company. He is the president, and the phone number is 800-386-3657.
Whoa.
His DRE number
on the business card, because I want to make sure we get your information. They say 800-385.
Yeah, 385.
It's not 386.
Oh, 385. Sorry, 385.
Okay,
all right.
We want to wipe the slate clean.
Come on, Trey, they don't know what you're doing.
Hey, I apologize, man, but I want to make sure we go ahead and correct this. The office number is 800-385-3657.
Yes.
800-385-3657.
Apologize about that, Andrew.
PlatinumMortgageCompany.com.
Let me give you his DRE and MLO number so that you guys can check on them yourself and make sure it's all legit. DRE number 01787-86869. 01787-869. And the MLO number is 204365. 204365. Andrew, we talked about FHA conventional. If your credit is good, not so good, you got plans that you can talk to somebody about fixing their credit and getting to where you need to be. Now let's talk about, let's go a little bit further in the process and talk about when you get approved for a loan and you get an amount and you decide where you want to go. If you're a first-time home buyer, is there incentive programs in California that give you money? I know for a while there was an $8,000 tax credit and such. Does that exist anymore? Are there other programs?
Those programs are gone.
Okay.
The only programs available are the ones that are available through FHA. There are 3 different kind of programs, and they all give you up to 3% behind a regular FHA loan.
Okay.
So that means you're only coming down with only 0.5% down in most cases. So that's kind of the lowest you can go for now. There are other cases where you have the sellers, whoever you're buying from, will also help you with your closing cost. So the money out of your pocket, technically, most of the time will be less than $5,000 if you put in your down payment and your closing cost.
Okay.
So that down payment that you're getting a second from the city, from FHA, that's the only one that's available right now.
Okay. Yeah. And you're saying for the closing costs now, do all I guess, vendors of homes, whether they're bank owned or by owner, is that a negotiation, or
yes,
you can always request that and they will always pay it? Or
you should always request that. You should always request that.
Okay.
There's no set price. A seller can decide whether to honor that or not based on the response they're getting on their sale. But you should always request that.
Definitely.
Now, if somebody's going to sell a house to you for $200,000, and you say, well, why don't I buy it for $201,000 and then you pay my closing costs?
Oh, okay.
So give something, get a lot back.
Okay.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That's great. Andrew, man, president of Platinum Mortgage Company, platinummortgagecompany.com, 800-385-3657. Trey, let's keep it rolling, man.
Hey. Now, my question is, after you go through the process, whether you're fixing your credit or whatnot, and then you sit down, you get a realtor, right? Explain the difference. Do you do the same thing as a realtor, or we still get a realtor, right?
We do mortgages. We help finance the home.
Okay.
So a realtor is somebody who's going to take you out, go find a house for you.
Because some of our listeners may not understand.
Yeah, a real estate agent or a realtor. A realtor is somebody who's a part of an association of realtors. But a real estate agent, a licensed agent, should go out there and show you what inventory is available. It's just like going to a car salesman in the lot.
Okay.
Guy shows you the different kind of cars and you say, okay, well, that's what I want, this is what I want. And they are licensed and knowledgeable enough to get you through all the paperwork, just like we do on the mortgage side.
I see.
You know, the difference between that is just that the financing is always a lot of headache. You know, their inventory is out there, but there are different kind of financing that you can use for different kind of homes.
Okay.
So a real estate agent or a realtor will help you find a house.
Okay.
A mortgage broker or mortgage lender or loan officer, such as myself, who's a mortgage broker and a loan officer, will help you find a loan based on what your situation is, your credit, your income, your assets, how old you are or where you've lived. Those are all different things that have to go into consideration.
Okay.
You know, but what we've done is we've created a simple email that will guide you through a process of a loan.
Excellent.
Whether you're working with us or you're working with anybody, BFA, Wells Fargo, this is the same process that everybody goes through. So if anybody's trying to tell you, oh, well, I talked to the bank, they say it's going to take 2 months. No. This is what Andrew said with Platinum Mortgage Company, and you can verify it any day.
And that's on platinummortgagecompany.com, correct? They can find that?
Yes.
Excellent. 800-385-3657. Andrew, the president of PMC Platinum Mortgage Company. Man, let's talk about moving forward even more. So let's talk about, I want the listeners to understand too that when you get a realtor or a real estate agent, they have numbers too, license numbers. Yeah. Make sure you check them and understand that you can trust
everybody.
them.
Everybody that we're dealing with in the housing association should have some kind of license number.
Everybody's bought a car or a big purchase, maybe a TV.
If not, you can holler at me in Classic, and we're gonna find you some houses for a little fee.
Hey, like I said, everybody's made a big purchase that they made a mistake in doing. Whether they got dinged for a high interest rate, or maybe they fell behind on payments, or maybe they got gypped out of some money. This is the biggest purchase you're gonna ever probably make in your life. So you need to make sure that your money is secure and that you trust the people you're working with, and actually they work for you. So make sure you take that attitude that the real estate agent is working for you. Andrew is working for you, and their best interest is your best interest for sure.
That's for sure.
Because you're gonna go back and tell other people like I said, the man that helped me clean up my credit, and my credit wasn't looking good, and now it's looking all right. So I can verify that he didn't tell me to go get somebody or give him a lot of money to go help him clean up. He just coached me through it. So I'm giving you firsthand experience. Everybody, you guys can do it as well.
And don't get Trey wrong though. I mean, this is not easy.
It's not easy. No. We've been working hard.
You gotta want to do it. Trey's back here on the phone all day.
I'm on the phone all day. My bosses is yelling at me, talking about who I'm talking to. I told him I'm trying to clean up my credit.
But if you have the motivation, you want to do it, man. Andrew's the dude to talk to for sure.
Yeah, well, I told Trey when Trey called me, I said, when I pulled Trey's credit, I said, you're gonna have to do some work. And I said, listen for a second. I said, I'm not trying to be cocky or trying to be a bully, but here's what I'm looking at, and here's what you need to do. It's just like going to a doctor. You get a diagnosis, and the doctor says, well, take 2 aspirins, 10 times a day. Are you going to take 2 and just say, well, I'm done with it?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Your headache's not going to go away. It's the same thing with the credit. If you don't put some time and effort into it, proactive every day, it's not going to go away. And you better do that. And we've done that for hundreds of people. We take them from a 400 FICO score, and they go all the way to a 620 FICO score in less than 3 months.
Less than 3 months, guys.
Less than 3 months.
That's good coaching.
I'm telling you.
It's important because we have dudes come in. We had dudes from the Watts Men's Health Fair. We have brother Aline come in. And we talk about how important our health is and investing in ourselves. This is another thing that's just as important. It is your future and the things that you want in your credit and the way that people view you when you go out into the financial world. It's very, very important to make sure that your health is important. This is very important too, because you can't get very far when you have low credit.
Yeah, you have to have some kind of, you have to establish, your credit is like it's kind of like your resume. And when if somebody looks at it and they say, and I'm just now actually doing the proper things that I need to do, and when they look at it, they kind of see like, hey, well, you care or you don't care.
Exactly.
It's like your job history. If you got a job, you've been working for 7 years, and you got a new job every 3 months, it's either you care or you don't care.
Exactly. I mean, employers want to look at your resume and see what you're doing. So does, lenders and banks want to look at your credit and say, why should I mean, if it was your money, will you give me credit if I had a 400 FICO? Yeah. I mean, come on. I mean, you put yourself in the bank's shoes. Yeah. People say bank don't want to lend. That's not true. Banks want to lend.
Because everybody wants to make money.
Everybody wants to make money. There's no point holding on to the money. They just want to make sure that you're going to get paid when they lend money. That's the problem. So for us out there, make sure if somebody goes, well, I don't have any credit. How do I start? What do I do? Simple. You go to BFA, Wells Fargo, US Bank, and say, hey, I want a secured credit card.
Okay.
Secured credit card. You give them $300 in a month. They'll give you a card, and you pay $15 a month. That will get your FICO score from 0 to whatever in fast. I mean,
you go buy things like your groceries and you pay it back. Your gas and you pay it back.
Little things and pay it back.
Pay back.
Absolutely.
Monthly.
Definitely
pay back. Yeah, because if you miss a payment, then it reflects on your character.
And a lot of times, man, like I got in trouble. I clean up my credit, a little bit here and there. I don't have the best score, but I have an okay score. I got in trouble, and sometimes like you just avoid. I know the bill collectors is calling. I know people are hitting you up, and you're like, nah, I'll deal with it later. It'll go away. Then the bill collectors stop calling, but that's still on your credit report, and it'll stay there, until you clean it up. Like Trey said, he had to go through.
Yeah, it's not gonna go away. All the people that got cable bills, man, the cable bills are still here.
And it's funny because sometimes, like on mine in particular, and I'm just trying to relate to y'all, man, because I know it's hard out there.
Classic can't relate, man. He got a 700, 800.
You're tripping, bro. You're tripping. Because I think I had maybe like a dentist bill or something. It was like $80-something, and I just never paid it, and that just hurt me so much over a long period of time. And it was $80. You just go take care of it and you get out of it.
It's just like a ticket. I mean, you get a ticket and you don't pay. You go try renew your license.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you try make sense to the DMV and say, why don't you just renew it? I'll pay later. I mean, no, it's the same thing. If you want to buy a house, and save money today, we did loans for people who were paying $1,800 in rent, and their mortgage is about $1,200 a month.
Wow.
Rates are just so low, the prices are so low, and it's gonna pick up. This is the best time to buy, or this is the best time to refinance if you already own. If you're underwater, if your house is underwater and you say, I don't have any equity, there's a new program called the HAP 2.0. Just came out. You can refinance your house with no equity in it.
Wow. So that's almost a little bit of a bailout option.
It's more. It looks like it, but it's for people who have not missed a payment in 6 months. If you're current on your payment from the last 6 months, you can refinance even if you're upside down on your mortgage.
Contact my man Andrew.
There's so much stuff out there. Much stuff out there. Whatever your situation, if you're a homeowner, you have a mortgage, or if you're trying to get into a home, even though you just got a job, you just got out of college, plan, start now. Call me.
It's never too early. You got to call my man
Never too
Andrew.
early and definitely not too late.
800-385-3657, PlatinumMortgageCompany.com. Andrew, man, this time flew by quick today. We got to have you come back.
That's been 30 minutes.
I'd love to come back.
People need to be educated on these subject matters, and fortunately for me and Classic, in our industry, we get to run across people, and that's why we try to bring people like you and bless the listeners.
Exactly.
Because there's a lot of people out there that's just not in the know. And unfortunately, we just got to know maybe 3 or 4 months.
Absolutely.
So
and next time we have you, we're definitely going to have you come back. When we come back, hopefully me and Trey will be further along in our home buying process. And then I want to touch on, there's a lot of people that own homes, or maybe their family owns homes, and they're going to be
we got to talk about loan modifications or something.
Exactly. So let's talk about that next time you come through.
Absolutely.
And we'll talk about more of that. 800-385-3657. Andrew, PlatinumMortgageCompany.com, president, just champion. You know what I mean? Helping people.
Hey,
I appreciate you.
From the mailroom to the president. Get your money up.
It's 93.5 KDAY Classic One Detroit. PlatinumMortgageCompany.com. Visit them and call them 800-385-3657. Enjoy your Sunday.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to KDAY's Community Show, where it's your issues, your topics, and your community. For questions or more info on this or any of our other shows, please email us, kdaycommunity@gmail.com. 93.5 KDAY.